Hello everybody, Patrick Glenn Nichols with Patrick Glenn Nichols Musclecar Barn Finds, and I'm here with a really special car today. A 1966 SS396 L78 Chevelle. Before I get started here, I would like to say everybody has their opinion of what the first muscle car is, or the first muscle car that really made the most difference or the biggest impact. And I just like to tell you that, in my opinion, this car is that. Everybody knows that I wasn't around or even thought of in 1966, but the generation that was around when these cars were new, I've been around those people most of my life. My parents are of that age group. So it seemed like everybody loved this car. This car is very popular. You got to go back to 1966. There was no Camaro. There was no big block Chevy 2. This was the first year the SS396 body style was put into full production. The 65 was kind of a promotional deal, but this car was a super fierce competitor on the drag strip. A guy by the name of Wally Booth campaigned one of these cars, and he just about won everywhere he went. A good friend of mine bought one of these cars new, immediately had it balanced and blueprinted, a regal red version, and drag race. And I'll quote him. He said, "Patrick, if I didn't break something, I won." You know, he raced in B stock, NHRA B stock, and Super Stock D. These cars really popular. Again, in my opinion, this is the car. This is the godfather of the muscle cars, for sure, of Chevelles. In my opinion, it's probably the godfather of all muscle cars. There probably wouldn't have been a 69 Copo or a 70 LS6 hadn't been for the successfulness of this car and the impact that this car made. So I will do a walk around video of this car. This car has been off the road since 1967. The guy who owns it now purchased the car. His brother purchased the car in 1966 as a used car in 1966, and it's been in this person's possession all of those years. The front end took a lick in 1967, and it's been off the road ever since. The car resided in Ohio for the first year, and now it's in rural Middle Tennessee. It's in this basement, and I'll go totally around this car for you. See, it has the front cap is not original. It's originally a white car, which I would do a rundown of the cow tag, which I normally do. The engine is here, it's just not in the car. That's not the original radiator. This car would have had a heavy-duty radiator. Let's do the cow tag. Okay, 06E, which is the 5th week of June. One other fact about these L78, the special high performance option on these cars, most Chevelle enthusiasts agree that that option was not available until about mid-year. So all 3,099 L78 Chevelles were built somewhere about the middle of the year to the end. The 66 is for 1966. 13817 is the SS396 body style. The car carried its own body style in 1966. FL1 for the Flint, Michigan assembly plant designation. You can zoom in a little better. 9768 for the body number. Trim 763 for black bucket seats. CC for ermine white lower and ermine white upper, and then 2 for group 2, and Q for the M21 transmission, which was an upgrade. A lot of guys think that most L78 cars were equipped with the M21 transmission. This car definitely was. G for center console, and R for rear speaker. I will pan around in here for you because I know you want to see the condition of this car. The frame doesn't appear to be damaged at all to me from the blow that it took in 1967-ish. And you can see this car was drag raced. The toe connectors are welded to the frame, and it may be a little damage there. Right there you can see some, but definitely a rare, iconic Chevelle. Again, this is the godfather, in my opinion, to the Chevelle muscle car. Go down the passenger side. You see the white, original white paint. According to the owner of this car has never been painted from the firewall back. Got some things stored on the car like these barn finds usually do. This is a spoiler off a Camaro. And let's look in the interior. And you can see the black bucket seats like we spoke of. Standard interior. And the tack and gauges. Now, one other piece of information. 3 different tachometers were available in the 66 model year. The 283 and the 327 had a 6,000 RPM tachometer, 0 to 6,000, and then the 7,000 for the L34 and the L78. But the L34 redlined at about 5,500, and then this one is 6,000. Which is the correct Special High Performance tachometer. And you can see the 4-speed console, which is designated on the cow tag. Tough to get in here, of course, like it normally is in these garages where these barn finds are stored. But I really enjoy bringing these cars to you just exactly how they're sitting. I know we talk about the light. The lighting sometimes is not good. Aside from bringing a bunch of floodlights and a lot of glare, a lot of times we just have to live with what we have. And the original 069 intake manifold happens to be sitting on the deck lid. 069. You can see it's unaltered. A lot of guys cut that out for a higher flow or top end RPM, but that's unaltered for low end torque. That's the way it was born. And one more tidbit I want to tell you about on this car, and let the debate begin. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of 66 Chevelle guys debating about this, but this car has never been painted according to the owner. Been sitting since 67, and the back is black. So I knew that would really spark up some debate, but I do believe we have solid proof on this car. Aside from pulling it out, all 4 tires are flat. Of course, the wheels are incorrect. They look to be like they're off an Oldsmobile or something. But aside from jerking this car out and investigating the rear, it sure looks like it's always been black to me. And now I will walk you over here to the original engine, which proves the authenticity of this car, which is laying over here in the floor of this garage over here by this 70 Chevelle, which I may do a video on this 70 Chevelle at a later date. It happens to be a 1-owner LS6. But this 66 Chevelle deserves a video all by itself. Here is the original cylinder heads. Remember, the car was dated the 5th week, built the 5th week of June. And we will pan on this engine and I'll show you the date that lines up with the engine. And right in there you can see OT0622 June 22nd EG, which is L78 396 Special High Performance. And then the VIN sequence, 6 for 1966, F for Flint, and 144614 is the sequence number. So L78 396, you can see the 8-inch balancer, the Special High Performance engine with the 4-bolt main bearing caps, and the idler pulley, which is still on the cylinder head, which 66 L78s had for Special High Performance solid lifter engines. I won't go into the dates on the cylinder heads. They are dated prior to June 22nd, so the whole engine lines up as correct for this car with the VIN, which proves this car to be an authentic L78 Chevelle, one of 3,099 produced. There's no way to determine whether all 3,099 were put in the SS396 Chevelle. It's my understanding that the L78 was an option in the El Camino, although was not, the SS396 was not an option body style for the El Camino. But I do believe the L78 engine was available in the El Camino as well. But what we do know is 3,099 cars were equipped with the L78 engine. Now, the original transmission is here as well. We'll do a little rundown of that for you guys. Over here on the left side is the VIN sequence. 6F for Flint, 144614, which matches the engine. And on this side, ironically, the build date is the same as the engine. In 1966, they only used the date. So it's just P for Muncie, 06 for June, and 22nd. In later years, they used a letter for the year and then even an A, B, or C. But in 66, they only used the P and then the date. And of course, the 5010 case is correct. And one determining factor on an M21 transmission, if you look at the front spline, it should only have one groove. And it does, where an M20 would have two. So always remember, all 10 splines had 27 output. All 26 spline had 32 output. And the M21 in 66 had one groove instead of two. So that proves the car to have total original drivetrain. The engine, trans, and as far as I know, the rear axle has never been altered either. So we have a real, authentic 1966 Chevelle SS396 L78 that has been parked since 1967. It was drag raced and campaigned quite a bit, but luckily the original engine lasted and stayed with the car because the car took a lick in about the first year. And in my opinion, when that car took that lick, it's probably the best thing that ever happened to it, because it's been off the road since then. The engine and the transmission and everything stayed with the car. If it would have lived longer, more than likely it would have had 4 or 5 other engines in it. The transmission would have been blown up. All of the stuff would have been missing, and it wouldn't have those components today. I hope you enjoyed this video of this 66 Chevelle, which in my opinion is the godfather of muscle cars. I wish I could go down the driver's side of the car, but I just simply cannot. There's a motorcycle here. You can see where there's been spot painted, some primer here and there. But again, according to the owner, from the firewall back, has never been repainted. The white that is on it is original. And I know a lot of my friends, close friends of mine, will debate the black in the back. But form your own opinion about that. I'm bringing you the facts. It appears to me that it's always been black. I'm Patrick Glenn Nichols with Patrick Glenn Nichols Muscle Car Barn Finds. I hope you enjoyed the video of this super rare, really significant piece of Chevelle muscle car history. Again, it's my opinion, it's the godfather of the Chevelle, and also in my opinion, it's the godfather of all muscle cars. It really put the muscle car on the map. I'm Patrick Glenn Nichols one more time, Muscle Car Barn Finds. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can contact me on Facebook and on YouTube at Patrick Glenn Nichols Muscle Car Barn Finds. Please like, share, and subscribe. More videos on the way. Thanks.